For ACUsports.com, I'm Grant Boone here with the commissioner of the Southland Conference, Tom Burnett. Tom, you and I spoke upstairs, I think, just a couple of weeks ago when you were here. Take me back to the moments as you and the rest of the contingent from the Southland left here and what's happened since. What were the conversations about the visit here and about ACU's, at the time, prospects for joining the South?
You know, honestly, the drive back to Dallas that afternoon, the conversation was somewhat minimal, but what there was very positive and just spoke volumes, really, and not saying much at all because the group was so impressed by, you know, coming onto this campus, getting the first impression of seeing what this campus looks like now and the new facilities. And then when you saw the athletic facilities, that I've told people, not only must they be among the best in Division II, they're comparable to a lot of the great places I've seen in Division I. So, you know, we went back with all of this in our minds, and, you know, really the visit here, though, solidified things when we talked to the president, the academicians here on campus, the athletic staff, the student athletes, and we got a real good feel for the people here and what they were telling us about their experience. And that's exactly what we're looking for in the Southland Conference. There's a real spirit here. There's an air of accomplishment, and those are the kind of things that make our conference better. And we want to be better. And we think that brings added value to all of our membership going forward. And, you know, again, the positive feeling we had carried all the way through our call we had a few weeks later with our presidents, and, of course, today's announcement.
You got the purple tie. That's solid.
You know, the commissioner keeps a wide array of conference colors. You know, I'll wear this today, but when you're playing Sam Houston State or Lamar, I'm probably going to have like a yellow or, you know.
But we're not the only purple in the conference, are we?
There's a lot of purple. Stephen F. Austin, Central Arkansas, Northwestern State, and now ACU. So we're excited about that, obviously. I can get more purple ties now.
Well, there you go. So we're here with Tom Burnett, commissioner of the Southland Conference. Since you and I last spoke a few weeks ago, we see the ever-shifting college landscape, college athletics landscape, shifting even more to the point that you've got entire conferences now no longer sponsoring football after this year. Some of those conferences aren't sure they're even going to exist as a conference. Tell me now where the Southland is after this last landmark week for the SLC.
Well, I've always had a good feeling about the future of the conference, regardless of the membership number. But certainly I think we can acknowledge that with 14 members in most of our sports going forward, at least 11 football-playing members in the future, I've got to think that we're very solid going forward. Change is not unusual or new to this conference for 50 years. Remember, at one time ACU left our conference, so we had to, you know, react to that.
We're sorry.
In the 70s. Well, we're glad to have you back, and it took 40 years. But
40 years in the wilderness, yes, but we're back. But it is changing, and that's one thing that you're speaking to. People forget it's never static. Rarely, is it?
Right. We had a good run of about 7 years where we had no changes in our membership, 12 members. People got comfortable with it. But when you see everything happening around the country, and it's unfortunate, some people may be out of business in the future, but we feel good about what we've got. We've got a great geographically sound conference. Travel works out well. Fans are going to be able to travel and see their teams. We're in the same time zone. We're not across 8-9 states. We're not in airports for the most part. So, you know, there's a lot of positives there for us as we go forward. And I think that helps us academically, and it helps us become even more competitive.
Last thing, so many people ask me about the 4-year transition period and why it is that any school that transitions to a new classification on the NCAA level has to wait those 4 years. From what you've heard, and you as a Division I commissioner, what is that elevator speech that you give people when it comes to the 4-year waiting period?
Well, I think if you understand the history of this, it's not so much all a Division I standard. People need to understand that Division II members have helped put some of these provisions in place because they want it to be a challenge. They don't want it to be easy for teams to migrate or universities to move from one division to the next, and we can understand that as well. And so really the NCAA, you know, over time through legislation has, you know, developed this program, and they really want to make sure that the Division II or the Division IIIs that go to 2 are ready for that step. And in Division I, there's different recruiting rules, there's different academic standards, there's a financial commitment that's very different, and they just want Division II programs to be at their very best at the end of that transition. You know, we've got a great example of that with Central Arkansas that went through that process a few years ago and now is a fantastic Division I member, and we think the same is going to happen here at ACU.
Welcome to Abilene Southland Conference, and thanks for welcoming us and making us feel so welcome.
Grant, thanks so much. Great to be here, and we look forward to with a great future with the Wildcats.
Tom Burnett, Commissioner of the Southland Conference. I'm Grant Boone for ACUSports.com.